Wednesday night, and that means it's time for the Lamar Thomas Show, featuring the greatest receiver in the history of college football. Just ask them, Lamar Thomas.
I was born in Ocala, Florida. I moved to Gainesville to go to high school. Being recruited probably since the 9th grade, illegally, I might add, by the University of Florida. I still can remember Coach Solinger, Don Solinger, coming out to our practice one day. Here it is, this guy comes out in the University of Miami jacket, and I said, I can't believe that's Miami out here. And, I wanted to go up and say, hey, I'm Lamar Thomas. And actually, I did walk up to him and I said, hey, Coach, I'm Lamar Thomas. And he said, I know. And that was the start of my relationships with the University of Miami.
Patton, another good block, and Toretto lays it out. Touchdown, Miami.
You come down here, you'll be on TV every weekend, dominating. I thought about it. I said, man, where do I sign? My mom, on Saturday mornings, I would wake up and she'd be holding my hand. I thought she was the weirdest lady in the world. But she was holding my hands and she would be rubbing them and saying, one day these hands are gonna make you a lot of money. She was smart.
So now, here he is, the great one, along with co-host Gary Ferman of CaneSport.com, Lamar Thomas.
What are you wearing?
Hey, man. Hey, we might have lost a game or two or three, but look here. This shirt is all right. This is a nice little, woo, this feels good right here. Hello, Gary.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Lamar Thomas Show. He's Lamar, I'm Gary, and we got a good one in store for you guys tonight. Tonight's show is presented by Caneswear. As you could see, Lamar is sitting in the store, the largest Canes fan store ever created in Davie, and Caneswear is the place where you can get just about any type of Miami Hurricanes merchandise that you could possibly want. They've got it all, men, women, kids, pets. They've got every size that you could want. So get on over to their store at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or go to caneswear.com. Check out everything Caneswear has to offer. And that sweatshirt you're wearing, Lamar,
Sweet. Lightweight. Lightweight.
Lightweight?
This is South Florida right here. This is a South Florida sweater. I don't know. It's lightweight. I could wear this outside right now, and I feel good. And it fits me well.
That's darn nice. And tonight's show is also sponsored by Williamson Cadillac, the place where LT goes to get all his beautiful brand new automobiles. When he comes through the door, they know he is there to do some business, and LT gets the first class treatment, and you can too at Williamson Cadillac. So make sure you head on over there and ask for Jermaine Chambers, the former Cane. He's a finance manager. He will hook you up with the right salespeople, and you will leave very happy. We're also sponsored by the Florida Beach Bowl, a new bowl game coming to Drive Pink Stadium in December. Are we going to get to say who started the game tonight, Lamar?
Next week he will be on, but we had to have these two special guests on tonight. So and of course the guy that booted him was a Florida State guy, so we got a Florida State guy on tonight.
Oh, so there's going to be a guest appearance that's going to coincide with the unveiling of the founder of the Florida Beach Bowl. Yes.
But he is a Cane. He is a Cane.
All right. And we're also sponsored by the law firm. Oh, you want to do Laspadas first? All right, Laspadas Subs, which feeds Lamar every Wednesday night. They're right next door to CaneSport. You can get yourself one of those nice ham and cheese subs that Lamar is packing there when you go to CaneSport to shop. Best subs in town. I can tell you, you will not be hungry after eating one of those subs. That's for sure. LT, you wait to eat that when you go home?
I eat a couple bites during the show. Obviously, my dad and my mom have gotten on me about, when I was eating the chicken wings. But so I dabble in it a little bit, but I kill it when I get home. I kill it. I literally kill it.
And then there's the law firm of Ratson and Faxadomo. If you ever needed representation, you don't ever want it, but if you ever need it, that is your go-to spot. They are aggressive. They are tough. They are good. And you'll want to ask for Mickey. You won't be sorry, but definitely a go-to law firm if you ever need representation for something that goes astray in your life. They will take good care of you. And we have a new sponsor tonight, LT, Life Athletics.
That's right.
Can we tell the story of how Life Athletics became a sponsor of the show?
Well, I mean, we're going to tell a little later, but just put it this way.
Later?
My wife, that's where she works out. And they were like, hey, your husband has a show. We were like, yeah. So they're advertising on our show. And I mean, she loves it. So we'll talk about it a little later.
All right.
That's cool. CrossFit.
But I'll preface it by saying, I'll tease it by saying that Lamar's wife comes home with bruises all over her body when she goes to Life Athletics, and we'll elaborate more later in the show. But LT, we have so much to unpack here. So much to unpack. Another frustrating loss up there this past weekend. The hits don't stop coming for some reason. If you're a Miami Hurricane and you're a Miami Hurricane fan, the hits do not stop coming. The program cannot get over the hump. They have found some unique ways to lose games this season. Now they have 3 losses as they head up to Florida State. Circle the wagons moment against the Canes' chief rival, a quarterback that has imploded mentally. Being honest, he's not imploding physically. He's imploding. He's struggling mentally. He's not seeing the field, throwing interception after interception, missing big play after big play. And now Mario Cristobal has the massive decision to make. LT, who does he start at quarterback at Florida State? Your thoughts on all the above?
I mean, hell, you're getting paid $8.5 million. You got to make this decision. It's for the betterment of your squad. Whatever decision you make. I mean, you are the head coach. This is a tough one. I mean, you got a guy that 2-3 years ago was pretty much the best freshman in the country, and for some reason, these last 2 seasons, he hasn't been performing to what we thought from his freshman year. We thought that he would have gotten better. I mean, obviously the yards have been there, 400, 300, but those 5 or 6 bad passes a game, you take away the 2 that probably were Hail Mary type situations. But other than that, he's had some bad throws. I don't think he's gotten better. I mean, do you agree with that, Gary? I really don't think he's gotten better.
He has not gotten better. And I kind of compared it on our website, CaneSport.com, to Simone Biles, like what she went through at the Olympics. I know it sounds crazy, but think about it. She works her whole life to get to the Olympics. She's the best gymnast maybe in history. She's at the Tokyo Olympics, and she suddenly can't perform. She got the twisties. She had to withdraw from competition. She cost the United States the gold medal in the team competition. She would have had multiple, probably 5 gold medals as an individual, and she relinquished those. And it was one of the most unbelievable things you've ever seen. And it was a mental situation that she had and she had to get mental counseling, and it's taken a couple years, but now she's back and she's the best gymnast in the world again. But
I agree. I agree with that. But compare her to Simone Biles, come on, man. That's the greatest gymnast ever. That's like saying Dan Marino had the yips or something. I mean, I don't know about. I get what you're saying, Gary, but that's a little far-fetched, man.
Simone got the twisties.
Yes, he was already the most decorated. He ain't the most decorated. He was the most decorated freshman. But
she
still.
Hear me out. Simone got the twisties. Tyler got the intercepties. Okay?
But still, that's Simone Biles, bro. You got to come with we got to think of another quarterback later on in the show, bro. You can't say Simone Biles,
I've never
bro.
seen this happen to another quarterback before. I'm sure it has, but I mean, look, this is a talented kid. This kid,
I get it.
He just threw for 370 on Texas A&M in September.
He did.
And at the last 6 games of 2021, he threw for like 350 a game. He had 20 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Like, this was a good quarterback. What has gone wrong, Lamar? Have you ever, in your travels, seen anything like this before? Where somebody's talent, it's like Space Jam. It's like somebody just sucked the talent out of his football playing body, and he's just out there, and he just doesn't look right either.
You know, I got to say this. I mean, he's had 3 different coordinators. First coordinator, it worked. He was young enough. Whatever Rhett Lashley was doing with that offense, it put him in where he didn't have to think. It was already however Rhett Lashley called his plays, it was the reads were already there for him. I mean, they threw a ton of bubble screens and they threw a bunch of passes to Rambo and the guy that broke the records. I can't think of his name now. Number 3, Mike Harley. But you get the guy last year. I don't even want to say his name because it was that bad. And I think it screwed this kid up. And then now this coordinator, I think, is a good coordinator. I've seen his work before, but somehow, some way, they're not on the same page. They're not on the same page because he looks, like you said, he looks scared. He looks lost.
Uncertain.
He has uncertain, no emotions. You watch him on the sideline. I like to sit and sometimes just look at him on the side. Nobody's talking to him. I don't know if he doesn't get on the phone. I mean, I don't know what is going on and how he is a digress because he's going backwards. That's just my opinion.
Massively. Gone backwards massively. This is a kid that had 6 interceptions and 5 interceptions in his 2 previous seasons. Now he's got 10 in 4 weeks.
I don't get it, man. I don't, and coming into this season, there was so much hype, that he would have a better year than the year getting rid of that coordinator. And this guy is a guy that spreads the ball out. Obviously there were stories about he learned how to run the football, but hell, I didn't know he learned how to run it every damn play. I mean, this is watching them play on offense sometimes. I mean, I know you're doing what you got to do. You're going to run the ball to open up the pass. It looks like they're trying to run it, make you put 8 or 9 guys in the box and throw on those 2 corners because you got to come up to support the run. But I mean, that's all it boils down to now, because everything else, whenever they drop 8, we look lost.
We look lost.
We look truly lost. When they go to dropping people in zones, it's like we don't have an answer for it.
Yep.
What we do have an answer for when it's one-on-one, everybody's in the box. We're gonna make the tackle on your running back that's gonna run straight up the middle, and then we're going to go one-on-one outside, like Clemson did. Clemson said, "To hell with it. We're gonna stop this run." We still were able to get yards, but we were able to throw some passes down the field. And who was quarterback in that game? Oh, I'm not saying it's a quarterback controversy, but it should be. I'm just saying. I'm not the head coach. I don't know.
Mike Radcliffe says it's time to sub out TVD. What does Mario Cristobal do, LT? We've both acknowledged what a brutal decision it is. You got Tyler Van Dyke. If you're looking at this Florida State game and you're saying I am probably going to be in a shootout with Florida State. They score 40 points a game. If my defense plays well, maybe I can hold them 25 to 30, but they're going to score some points. They got a very, very good offensive team. I have to score points. If I need a quarterback to go out and throw for 350 on Saturday at Doe Campbell Stadium, LT, I got to go with Tyler Van Dyke. Okay. But we've already talked about everything that's gone wrong with Tyler Van Dyke. Over here, you got Emory Williams, the freshman. He's played one game against Clemson. It was a controlled offense at home, caught Clemson by surprise. They won the game in OT. The probability of Emory Williams at this stage of his career being able to go into Doak Campbell Stadium, and we are going to talk to our guest, Ja'Cory Harris, later in the show here in a little bit, actually. The last quarterback from Miami to beat a ranked Florida State team, and he did it at Doak Campbell Stadium.
On the road.
On the road, and he's going to be able to tell us about that. But the probability of Emory Williams being able to get into a shootout in Tallahassee and come out ahead of the game is not probably real high, Lamar. I mean, if this were a sports book, I think we could get some pretty decent odds against that, you know? So what does Mario Cristobal do in your mind?
Man, that's a tough decision. First of all, I think with today's climate, we shouldn't use the word shootout in Tallahassee. Okay, let's just make sure we don't use that. We don't want to get knocked off the air. But that's a tough one, man. That's why you become a head coach. That to make the tough decisions, because at some point you have to make a decision. You can't keep going back and forth. And also, now this is what I heard. I don't know how clear it is, but they might be trying to save his redshirt year. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So with that being said, I mean, he's played 3 games. He played the next one. I mean, he you know what? It might be time. It might be time to try to save the season and prepare for the future. Now, here's what I have to tell you about the future. He's considered a sophomore. Am I correct? Because the COVID year didn't count. What happens?
You talking about Tyler?
Yes. So what happens next year in the offseason?
He's out. He'll go to the portal. If he doesn't start Saturday, he's going to go to the portal.
Oh, jeez. Well,
there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, and plenty of quarterbacks go to the portal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Miami's going to go to the portal and find other quarterbacks. I mean, they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they have no quarterbacks on this roster.
I mean, I would say, hopefully he can go to Rhett Lashley and those guys, because that was definitely a spot where he was good in their offense. But I think they got 2 quarterbacks over there that are pretty damn good, and they're from Texas, so they ain't gonna knock nobody off that ain't from Texas. So I that's a tough decision. He's gonna have to really watch this week's practice and see if there's anything that TBD is showing any type of fight. If not, then go with the other guy.
Yeah, I believe that both have taken first team reps this week. So, now we've gotten to Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's about the point tonight probably where Mario's got to make the decision which way to go.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, I'm gonna say this on the air right now. I'm gonna try to sneak down to practice. I'm trying to show up. I'm trying to go down there in the morning and watch some practice. I really want to see myself, what the look in these guys' eyes are, and hopefully, maybe Mario will even let me say a couple words to them guys. Because last time I spoke to a team, Ja'Cory will tell you, they went up there and beat Florida State.
Oh yeah, you're 1-0.
You're 1-0. That's all I'm saying. Now that speech couldn't be recorded because there was a lot of things I said, but they all remember. And we're going to ask Ja'Cory tonight if he remembers that speech. So
All right, let's bring our voice of the fan, Bruce Warner. Look at he's got the jacket on. He's trying to copy you, LP.
I copy him. I bought this with Caesar at the before the Clemson game. I got this
good.
one. It's gorgeous. And look at on the sleeve. Got this. It's nice. And Mark got a black one. Don't make anything out of that. But here's my thoughts. You're asking me what I think Mario's going to do or what I would do.
Well, first, what Mario's going to do.
Mario's probably going to go with Van Dyke and then he's going to probably wind up bringing in Ja'Cory Brown. If it was up to me, I'd start Emory Williams because I'm not looking at this game Saturday as the be-all and end-all. I am looking ahead. He's got Louisville. He's got BC. He's got a bowl game. And they open up where? Against Florida next year? I don't want this kid not playing anymore this year. He opens up in September, which he'd be off 10 months. I'd let him play. The hell with the red shirt stuff. That's just me. Van Dyke is just whatever phrase you want to use, shot his load, whatever you want to call it. He's done. He's done, and he's mentally done. And I don't think I feel bad for this kid because Gary and I always said in the offseason, he's the guy. He's your best guy. And after he goes 4-0, not 0-1, 4-0 and the bottom dropped out. What a difference, night and day of the first four. And then
started with the knee.
Yeah, and then when I people don't. I see these comments. They don't want to blame Dawson, but what are they doing during the week to get ready for that same defense that have now been played against them?
I don't disagree. Listen, I like Shannon Dawson a lot. I don't hold him blameless in this at all. Like that's the guy he's coaching, and if he's showing up on game day not knowing what the hell he's doing, then you got to take responsibility for that as a coach. And Shannon Dawson did this week, guys. Yeah. He stood up there in front of everybody and he said, "This is on me too." And he says, "It's on me to get this straightened out." And it is.
But
I mean,
am I wrong or am I wrong? This is the best offensive line TVD has had. This is the best group of running backs that he's had. Now, I can't say the same for the receivers, but I also think a big missing piece is the tight end. And he can't play. He's hurt. He got hurt again. He's hobbling around. He's in there just to block. Arroyo is a big part of this offense, at least on paper, and he's not playing. And all the checkdowns and the crossing routes that he could be doing, he's not doing. So he's trying to force it. And what, did they throw 2 balls to Restrepo last week? So it wasn't as if he was trying to, go to the same guy constantly. But there's something wrong up here. And I don't know if you could take a chance on this kid anymore. Again, I'm looking to the future, not just to beat Florida State, because that's who it is. I'd rather see Emory Williams play. Ja'Cory, now he hasn't taken a snap since last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, you ain't starting Ja'Cory.
I'm not saying you're going to start him, but everybody's saying he's going to play. There are people.
Wait, is that the same kid that we brought into the game last year against Florida State, and it took them two plays to figure out what he was doing and just start teeing off on the kid?
Threw for 38. For 38 yards.
So, I know that he beat Clemson. I know it was a scripted offense. Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we just run the ball, throw shorts, try to get the safeties up, and maybe take a few shots down the field? I don't expect us to win anyhow, to tell you the truth. You can yell at me all you want. I just don't see it. That team is damn good. Damn good. And you got a quarterback that's got his head screwed up. I'd let the kid play. At least he appeared very calm. He seemed like he was doing what he had to do, the running game. It seems like everybody's healthy. I just try to shove it down their throat. That's what I would do. Or work on some screens, because they should be screening this team. This team, just like Miami's defense, you can misdirection them all day long. They so over-pursue, it's not even funny. But if the kid can't get the ball out of his hands, we're in trouble. I think Williams won't have that problem. But who knows? That's what I would do.
Ooh. And now, I'm what they're saying, like, does anybody like him on the team and stuff like that?
People are this guy's just like running. He's just talking and saying stuff. They
don't know.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
They don't know any of that.
There's 100 guys out there. They all hate the quarterback. I mean, come on, man.
No, they don't hate him.
One thing I said early in the season about NIL deals, I don't know if those guys are mature enough to handle what the next
now
man
I
is getting
think you're
paid.
onto something, LT. I agree.
I've said it.
And Gary, there may be some people blowing smoke up his ass. They did it last year. And you know what I'm talking about. And you know what? I don't think that's helping this kid at
You're
all.
going to the NFL. You're going to be a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
We've got 20 NIL deals for you. Hey, now we're going to Alabama. We're going to get more money out of Miami. Way too much nonsense on the outside of just focusing on being a good football player. And there's absolutely the possibility that that's a factor in all of this.
Right. It's a combination of all of it. And that's why his head is screwed up.
I like what the Professor's Lounge and OHM Slaw talked about special teams, because that's something that's missing. You know, we haven't had any returns, punt return,
block punts.
I mean, when you're deep, when one of your offense or defense is not holding it up, you got to add that special teams in there to just be able to give you some type of. I mean, back in the day, I talked to Coach Solinger today, and he talked about special teams back in the day. It was a part. They scored on special teams, you know, and it was part of. You know, they didn't have guys back there fair catching and you know, just trying to get the ball back. Hell, they were trying to score, whether block your punt or set up a return. It wasn't about fair catching. So, to me, special teams definitely is a part of the game that's missing for us as far as you know. But our kicker's been kicking the ball well.
Yeah, he missed one.
And then the other night, you play for the field goal, and he misses it.
He misses.
This team is jinxed, Lamar. The program is absolutely jinxed.
Ever since Cooper threw that flag in the Fiesta Bowl, it's been a jinx.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Why are we in a shotgun on that fourth down from the 1 or 2 yard line?
I don't think I've seen it.
And how come Miami didn't use that push thing? Put in those big dudes and push them in the end zone, or put Jacory in there.
Yeah, they could have gone to the tush push.
Yes, why not? Because they didn't do that.
I know Corey Harris would have loved that tush push.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
But seriously, we have some big dudes. Put in McCoy and let him push Jacory Brown past those guys. They wouldn't stop that play. Where's the innovation?
I don't think I've seen them under center the whole year. So they just probably don't work with the quarterback under center, and you can't just suddenly make an exception. But how about you don't play for a field goal the entire year? Your kicker's made 14 kicks in a row. You play for the field goal to cut a 4-point lead to 1, and he misses the kick after 14 straight. I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable. But anyway, there was once a great moment. I think it was 2009 season opener where a young quarterback that I remember very well went to Doak Campbell Stadium, put about, I think, 370 yards or so on Florida State, came home with a victory. And we believe, we haven't double checked this to the max. Somebody's already arguing with me in the comments, but we believe he is the last Miami quarterback to beat a ranked Florida State team at Doak Campbell Stadium. That's our belief. Whether it's true or not, we don't really care. We're going to ride with it right now because here he is, Jacory Harris. Welcome to the Lamar Thomas Show, Jacory.
What's up, man? Hey, it's good to see some familiar faces, man.
I haven't seen you since we used to go to Miami Prime Grill.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying.
It was crowded. I got you guys in there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Was that
they're closed now, man? They're closed.
He just asked a question. He just asked a question. Was that when I was in college?
Yeah. Long as it's not during college, man. We don't want nobody to NCAA to dig nothing back up.
I didn't pay for you to get. I got your seats.
Hey, that's an impermissible benefit.
Well, it's too late now. I'm going to turn. Don't worry about it.
got enough stuff to worry about with Michigan. So
yeah, you're right.
Hey, Jacory, it's great to have you on the show, man. You know, I was your classmate.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Let's. I usually start off by asking the question, why Miami? Let's get into why Miami? I mean, you went 30-0.
Yes, sir.
At Northwestern.
Wow.
Didn't lose a game. I actually came to a bunch of your games.
Yes, you did.
You had some great talent around you, but you were being recruited by everybody.
Yeah.
But why did you choose Miami?
Oh man, it was a tough decision. I'm not even gonna lie, because Miami was a school I grew up obviously loving, and watching the guys, from the 2000s and all that stuff, all the great football players, including yourself back in the days, Lamar. But
Appreciate it.
you grow up in Miami and that's all you hear, Miami, Miami. I will be, I'll be lying if I didn't say I was almost, a Oregon Duck.
Oh,
But the only reason I was almost a Duck was because the offense was similar to what I was running in school.
I see.
I remember being recruited by Chip Kelly, and he came down to Miami. He said, "I'm only here for you, for Tommy Streeter and Ja'Cory Harris. I don't want nobody else." And he gave us some plays to implement into the offense, because I called my own plays in high school, and I remember putting them in, and they scored touchdowns, everything. So it was like, dang, next step, let me take a visit. I fell in love with the school, and it was hard for me not to answer those calls to Chip Kelly. But the one thing, man, just trying to be the ones to bring UM back to the glory days. That was something that I wanted to do. Unfortunately, we had our ups and downs and everything, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, being a University of Miami Hurricane.
You had a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not only yourself, but you had a bunch of guys that came with you.
yeah.
Who was Streeter,
Yeah.
Blue
Tommy
Hand.
Streeter, Brandon Washington, Ben Jones, Kendall Tompkins, Sean Spence, Marcus Forston, Darius Johnson, and myself.
Right.
It was 8 of us off of one team.
Wow.
Hey man,
Well,
we wish we could have pulled off. We could have did the same things we did in high school, but you come in, you gotta adjust to college. You got
right.
we just, no excuse at all, but
What happened here?
you
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, guys. That was my fault. I
Yes,
hit.
you
I
like-
actually
you
hit.
like the
I was
limelight.
typing. I hit the button.
It's
I'm
all
like,
good.
damn,
It's all good.
what Gary doing? Now, you get there as a freshman,
Yes, sir.
and I was going back to school, so I
Mhm.
was in a lot of your classes,
Yep.
and
All the remedial
I-
classes, right?
yes,
I'm messing with you.
remedial.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with
No,
you.
no, we got to start off right.
No, I'm messing with you.
But we're in these classes, and I could tell straight off the rip, you guys are like, holy crap, we got workouts in the morning, and we still got to go to class.
Yeah.
Some of y'all were looking like, holy, like I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And
It's-
I
Go ahead. Continue.
I just remember seeing you guys, that freshman group,
Mm-hmm.
and saying they have no idea what they just got themselves into.
Yeah, especially when we me, Sean, Darius, Arthur Brown, and Marcus, we all graduated early. So
Right.
we were there when we were supposed to be in high school, and we was doing spring workouts.
Yep.
And I remember being in the sand pit questioning, like, dang, hey, should we have waited a little while? Should we waited till the summer to come in with our group, so it wouldn't seem like we're hurting? We'll at
Right.
least be hurting amongst people that's our age and with our
Right.
group. But man, to come in there, I was happy that we did get a jump start, and we did get opportunity to get in there and learn from some of the older guys about the history, about the program, about the workout, the work ethic, and everything it took to be a Cane. So that really helped us. And yeah, it was an eye-opening experience, man. It's different. It's a lot different from high school.
I remember watching you guys sit in theater,
Theater
and
class.
most of y'all was back there asleep.
Yeah.
And the lady said, she said, Lamar, I'm gonna have to give them F's. And I go, listen, here's what they have to go through. They're supposed to be in high school right now.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is what they're doing early in the morning. So just, can you cut them a break, and can you let me be in charge of them? She said, yeah. But she had no idea what you guys were going through, because remember, all your work was being done early in the morning, and then you would go to class.
Yeah. And class was our time to rest.
Yes, yes.
Class was our time to rest. I learned how to sleep and listen at the same time, man.
You're talking to the king of rest.
Hey, it was challenging, man, but hey, we signed up for that, and
Mm-hmm.
we understood that. That's why we were. I'm not even gonna lie. We were all able to graduate and do
Mm-hmm.
things the right way and take care of school and really be student athletes. Even though we're here at this school that's known for football, so we made it work.
Made it work. And you get there as a freshman, and you're thrust in a quarterback battle with Robert Marv.
Yes, sir.
I ain't heard that name in a long time.
Man, hey, look. A lot of people, I guess, when you before you come to college,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, most guys that make it to college probably have been starters and players that were good all their life.
Mm-hmm.
So to come somewhere and I was just a different dude, man. Like I used to tell Marv, "Hey, bro, you're a you're a more talented quarterback than me." And he like I would tell this guy that I'm like, hey, you could throw, you could make every throw, you could do this, you could do that. I say, but the one thing that you're not gonna beat me in is you're not gonna know up top, you're not gonna beat me. Mentally, you're not gonna beat me when it comes to knowing the plays, putting the team in the right position, making the right decision. I said that's something that I can help you with, but it's something that I don't think you'll be, better than me at. But I'll give it to you. When it comes to having a stronger arm, having, being a talented runner, a talented quarterback, Marv had he had all the gifts, man.
Well, that's because he played at Tampa Plant, and he
Right.
Yeah,
didn't play at Northwestern.
yeah. It's a big difference to me.
It's a big difference.
It's a big
Yes.
difference.
Did he take you up
Especially
on it or no? No.
so me and Marv had some up and downs throughout the season. But at the end of the day, I was all about just wanting to win. So I never
Mm-hmm.
really had any, Marv was a cool dude. Yeah, we when it was times where like against Duke when I got in and
Mm-hmm.
took us from 17-7 and won the game
Mm-hmm.
49-24, or we played Virginia, they put me in at the
Virginia.
end of the game and I took us to overtime and then won in the overtime. I
Mm-hmm.
did think after those games that I would be the starter, especially my first game, even though it was just Charleston Southern. I felt like I had did enough to be the starter for, at least the University of Florida game right after.
Right.
But I never, especially being a freshman, I never looked at it as, you know what, they're trying me.
Mm-hmm.
Marv isn't better than me. This, that. I just said I want to help my teammate. If they feel like they want to keep him as the starter, I'm gonna do everything I can to help him as much as I can. And whenever I get my opportunity, I'm just going there and have fun and play the game. It was only one time that I was disappointed, and we were losing 41-10 to Georgia Tech,
Mm.
and Coach Nix didn't put me in until like the fourth quarter and told me, he really told me, hey, I need you to bring us back. And I started crying. I started crying.
Wait. 41-10 against Georgia Tech when they were
41-10.
running the wishbone. When you
When
never
they,
get the
they had
ball back.
Josh Nesbitt, Anthony Allen, they had all these guys, man. They was killing us. T.I. and all these celebrities was there in Atlanta on the sideline, and we were getting killed. And I was trying to figure out why. Mind you, this is after all those games that I had just like I was put in and brought us
Mm-hmm.
back and this was toward the end of the season. I'm like, okay, now why would you throw me in at the end of the game and tell me to bring us back? Like I literally had tears in my eyes going to the huddle and they like, what's wrong? I'm like, bro, this man really didn't put me in until now and he expect me to bring us back. I can't do it. There's no way in hell I'm gonna get this done.
I'm taking a guess here,
Yeah,
Jacory. Your
yeah.
teammates backed you. They were in your corner. Would you say that's true?
For the most part, I will
Yeah.
say that's true. I will say that's true. But like I said, man, I just want to win. I just wanted to win. So it
Mm-hmm.
was I didn't care who was starting. If I felt like I was better than the person and they got the opportunity, I'm gonna support them 100%.
Well, you took us to a victory up in Tallahassee
Yeah,
with an asterisk because the receiver did drop the ball in the end zone,
he
which was
did,
oh
and
that was great. Woo! I was
that's
screaming.
exactly why I didn't celebrate at the end. I didn't know whether or not the review was gonna come back
Right.
saying that the guy caught the ball. So a lot of people was like, man, look at him, he's so ice cold. I'm like, no, I'm not ice cold. I was scared as shit. I thought we lost the game, and I wanted them to get the review over before I started celebrating. So I wasn't ice cold. I was scared.
So Jacory, I must ask you this question. See if my memory serves me right, because I'm older now.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you guys have a former player speak to you guys before that game or something?
Oh no!
Out of the practice field, and there was a lot of cursing and in this speech.
Jacory, hey, do what I want to Trump today.
Do you happen to remember that or not?
What's his name? Did his name start with an L?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Lawrence Taylor, maybe.
Leonard Taylor.
Jacory, he's going down to practice tomorrow, okay? Unannounced. And he's going to tell
you
Mario.
know what? Hey, the one thing I do that you know what Lamar is you know, kind of getting towards is that's the special thing about having opportunity to play for the University of Miami. You got guys that are greats that's coming back to the school, whether they're enrolled in the school or they're just trying to be a part of the program still, like Lamar, him, and coming back and pouring into the team. And you know that I appreciate that. That was like, we watch these guys on TV growing up. We see them all the time, and then to see them when we're there working out, when we're in the weight room, we got Andre Johnson and Santana Moss, and they bring in Plexico Burris, they bring Terrell Owens, and bringing all these guys. Got A-Rod right there lifting next to you, The Rock coming there and lift next to you. Those are things that I don't think you'll ever get going to another college, because don't nobody want to go back to Tallahassee and chill in the off season. No one wants to go to Gainesville or Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They might come there for 2-3 days, and they have prestigious, players and great players that went on to do great things, but they don't have, the University of Miami. They don't have the guys that played back in the days when, coming out off the plane and fatigue and all that stuff. They ain't got the gangsters like that. So, that's something that we really appreciate and really helped us, that motivated us to want to do better and want to win.
I think you ought to rack that up, Gary, and send it over to Mario to use for
Hey,
that's true. That's true.
It's true, Jacory.
There's no doubt. But Lamar, okay, he, of course, remembers that. He's going down to practice tomorrow, and he's going to tell Mario, I'm 1-0, coach. I'm 1-0
on the road.
If I give a speech before the Florida State game.
Hey, man, you got to make it happen, man.
And don't censor me. Just let me go.
That's what I'm talking about. No censorship.
No censorship. Hey, no cameras, no nothing. I don't want this recorded. Just let me go. Yeah. And you're gonna hear what I got to say. That's it. Because that's what it's about, if you go up there not thinking that it's a rivalry, then you've lost the game. It's a rivalry.
It's not a regular game.
It ain't a regular game. It's a rivalry.
I spoke to Brian the Beast earlier. And I was talking to him about the similar thing. Like, people don't understand. Both teams could come into this game 1-9, and at the end of the day, this is gonna be the toughest, a bloodbath. It's like putting two UFC fighters across from each other in the ring, and you ain't got nowhere to go. Once you step on that field, it's game time. And my thing is, like, not to take away from playing home, but playing away at Florida State, and to be in that atmosphere where everybody hates you, that's probably the best feeling in the world, especially when you get to leave out of there with a victory and walk off their field knowing that you just, accomplished something that a lot of other teams, especially this year since they're undefeated, they could go in there and make history and knock them off. So,
but you got to remember, you have to realize that it is a robbery. You can't go up there. Last year, I said it on the show. I said, if Miami does not think it's a rivalry, they're going to get blown out. Yeah, that's the only way you can think of it. You got to think that, hey, this is a game that we circled, at the beginning of the season, when they saw the schedule, that's a game that I can't wait to play in, because guess what? Everybody in the country is going to be watching. And if I have a chance to make a name for myself in that game, I can. I will.
Yep.
You know, that's the best way to look at it, because ain't nobody watching. Let's see, what's one of them games we had early in the season? I don't know. One of those games that nobody that we had early in the season.
Miami,
They're not gonna
Ohio.
watch that. Yeah, Miami, Ohio. They're not gonna watch that.
Miami,
But
Ohio
what they,
tried to make it. They tried to act like it was a rivalry, talking
Yeah, they
about they the
tried to.
real
Yeah.
Miami. Like, what's
Well,
wrong with these?
We
And
should have
that's the
blown out
issue.
Georgia Tech, but a lot of these things, we're still circled on everybody's schedule every year.
Hey, look,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can't blame anybody anything, because people come and play when it's Miami.
Mhm.
So until I feel like the teams realize that, we will continue giving mediocre teams a shot at thinking that they can beat us.
Mhm.
You got to go into the game saying, hey, you know what? I don't care. Like the Dolphins put up 70 on I forgot who they played. That's how we got to go into every game. Like, nah,
Yeah.
we not. I don't care if we beating this team 70-0, and it's only the third quarter. We not finna stop. We gotta, cause that's the only way to get Miami back to where the greats had it. Because if not, it's just gonna be it turns into nice ball. Like, we're just being nice now.
Well, you guys could ask the question that everybody wants to hear him answer.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, I assume that you've been watching the games this year.
About TVD.
Yeah, what's your take?
Man, look, me being a quarterback, I can only, I'm gonna always take up for my quarterbacks, and and I remember watching Tyler at the Paradise Camp, down at UM, when he was a attendee, and I remember watching this guy, and I'm like, man, he's gonna be special, and I still think that he has the talent and the physical abilities to do so. I don't know what's going on mentally these last couple weeks. That just changed, because after it's like the Texas A&M game was a big game, and they went out there and they really impressed me. I was excited to watch the Canes again, and especially him. But I heard he was playing with some injuries. Um, I don't know, like, if it was stuff that was already known or people seen. But those are things you gotta play through. I remember,
Corey, what is being injured have anything to do with throwing into double and triple coverage, locking yourself on Restrepo most of the time, not checking it down to get your guys in the flat to get them the ball? What does being hurt have to do with that? I don't think it should have anything to do with it. And he's got the best offensive line he's had since he's been here, and the best running back.
they got some dogs at O-line.
Too.
They got some dogs. Until you in them shoes behind that center, it's a different vision. But and I do understand what you're saying, because being injured, it depends on what's injured. If it's just like, I played a whole half a season with a torn UCL in my thumb and a fractured thumb, and in my throwing hand, for 6-7 games. So that can affect your throwing ability. I don't know if he got shoulder, what it is.
I think he's got shoulder, knee, and 320. He had 320 ligaments in his thumbs.
Dang.
So he's been a little beat up.
That can really affect. I couldn't grip a ball, and I was still a starting quarterback, and I would see a receiver open. It's like I went from having like 17 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, to 24 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. And people was like, dang, what's wrong with this kid? He went from being up for the Heisman in front of Tebow at the time, and then one game he throw 4 picks, and then everything go downhill. And I never said anything at the time, but of course I've said it now. But I was playing, I couldn't grip the ball at all. I had to learn how to throw all over again. The very next year, went into spring practice. I had surgery in January, and I didn't make it back. I didn't know this took that long, but I didn't make it back until halfway through training camp, and still ended up being the starter.
So what would you do? What would you do, my friend? What would you do? Would you burn Emory Williams' shirt because he's played his max 4 games?
Okay.
Or would you let TVD play, knowing how banged up he is and what you've seen the last couple of weeks?
Well, that got to be a conversation I have with him, because it is. I do have to ask him, like, hey, look, we still got a season to play. We still got games, and have a conversation. Like, do you feel comfortable enough to go out there and continue to lead this team if you're that injured? If not,
But
we're
what do
gonna
you think
go.
he's going to say? He's going to say, "Of course, I'm ready to go." But let's
And I
assume
got
that.
you.
Let's assume
But
that. I'm
now
asking
you
you what you would do.
take ownership off yourself. Hey, look, you ready to go? I expect you to give me everything you got. And if I see that you leaving it all on the field, you in here studying, you in here watching film, there's nothing I can say that this kid didn't do, then I can ride with you and I can live with whatever consequences happen after that. But to bench him this far in the season, I wouldn't burn the red shirt for the Emory Williams kid.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't
I
either.
think
I
it's a
wouldn't
little bit
either.
too late for that, and it serves no purpose. Now, if we trying to make it to the national championship,
Mhm.
and this kid is, we seen him play, he putting us in a position to continue winning, then that's a decision that will have to be made. But right now we're playing for just a better bowl, a
Mm.
better bowl game, and I don't think that his a year should be wasted when he didn't get a chance to play it. But I heard Ja'Cory Brown can play
Right.
and
He
not
can.
burn his red shirt this year.
Right. Because he's only have 4 games left, 3 in the bowl, so he
Yeah,
can't.
so
Right.
so in that case, it's like, hey, look, TVD, if you ain't healthy, I'll play Ja'Cory Brown.
Mm.
But I still think Tyler gives Miami the best chance to win. The Tyler that we know gives
Right.
Right.
Miami the best chance to
I'm,
win.
With
I'm
Tyler, two offensive coordinators ago. See, and that's
Hey,
that's
look, it's like that. I went through 3 offensive coordinators,
mm,
and it went to my last one. Well, I'm not gonna steal any shine away from Whipple at all, because my first year with Whipple, we had a tremendous year. It was phenomenal. It's just that we didn't make any adjustments,
mhm,
and by the end of the year, everyone was calling out our plays as soon as we line
mm.
up, as soon as we came out the huddle, and I didn't have the ability to check into
Check.
anything.
Mhm, mhm.
So it used to be times where I'm on the field hearing the guys call out the plays. I'm looking to the sideline like, hey man, what you want me to do? Just throw it up. And yeah, throw it up and hope that my receiver make a play. But Jed Fish, my last offensive coordinator, when he came in, he gave me the ability to do whatever. Hey, he
Mm,
call a play or he won't even call a play. He'll just look at me and he give me the signal like this. That means you go ahead and take care of the play.
mm.
So
I got a question for you because I keep hearing people bring up his relationship with Restrepo. Now,
mhm,
here's what I said. This is just my opinion. Human nature, quarterback is gonna have his go-to guy.
yeah,
That's just, I mean, he's gonna have a guy that he knows he can trust, whether it's a tight end,
yep,
whether it's a receiver, whether it's a running back. He's gonna have that guy. If that guy can continue to get open and make plays for me, hell, I'm gonna look for him. Now,
yeah,
the question comes in when he's double and triple teamed.
right.
mhm,
They
You
got a
can't.
safety over him,
You got to
Lamar.
come off him. But there's nothing. I try to explain to people. Human nature is every quarterback's gonna have his go-to guy,
yeah,
and that's just the way it is. And
yeah.
but you're hoping that he continues to get open, and the other team doesn't triple team him to force me to go somewhere else. But if they do, I have to go somewhere else.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be honest. When playing quarterback, my go-to guy when we're in man coverage. When I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
man coverage, that's gonna be, yeah, the first person that I look at, because now it doesn't turn into me reading the defense. But if they
Mm.
run in zone, you gotta read the defense out. If my go-to guys, if he's the third read in the progression, I'm not starting with him.
Right,
If
right.
it's a flood concept, I got a vertical, I got an out, and then I got a hitch.
Mm-hmm. Then you got to
I'm
hit.
not, or a flat route. I'm not
Right.
starting with the flat. I'm working my way down. I'm going from vertical
Mm-hmm.
down to the out, down to the flat. So it's all about how the offense is set up. If
Mm-hmm.
Restrepo is his first read, no matter what, then I can understand why sometimes it look like, that's where he's going to. And I've seen that sometimes. I've been some places where like they'll tell you, hey, no, just throw to this guy, just throw to that guy. And I don't think Dawson is like that at all. I think, it is an offense to where he has to read it out and then make a decision. Um So if he's reading it out and he's still just going to Restrepo, then that's something different. That's something we gotta. Hey, look, we gotta change this because your go-to guy, he gets worked into zone coverage. Man to man is just one-on-one. In zone, anytime they're gonna run zone, that mean if he's getting the ball, that mean you got some special play conjured worked up for him. You got a route combination that's good against this zone coverage or something like that. Those are the times that you'll go to. Like Hank, when I had Leonard Hankinson.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? They're kind of hamstrung. They don't have a tight end. They don't have Will Mallory anymore.
yeah,
And Arroyo was supposed to be the big deal, but he's still hurt. And that's got you can talk about it. That's horrible to not have a tight end that you can
it
go
it
to.
it is. And I was blessed my last year to me and Coach Panunzio. I remember we kept talking about Jimmy Graham
Jimmy
playing
Graham.
basketball.
I was at the
And
basketball games.
yeah,
I was at the basketball.
at the
I wanted
basketball
the
games.
I wanted the other guy, but Panunzio he wanted Jimmy Graham. It was another guy that was tall, dark skinned cat. I said,
And
man,
dark skin. I
yeah.
forgot his name. I know who you're talking about. I think he was. I forgot I know who you're talking about though.
Eric
And I was
Swoop.
like,
Eric
no,
Swoop.
I don't.
He's
No,
not
Not
in the
Swoop. He was
NFL.
after. Swoop was
it was
after.
after Swoop. Right.
Oh.
Yeah, Swoop was after. But it was another guy. I forgot his name. He played around the same time with Jimmy.
Yep.
But I remember Jimmy came on the field, no cleats. He came out there, ran a couple routes, and we threw him the ball. And I'm like, okay, he cannot run routes. But every time we throw him this ball, he catches
He
it.
catch it.
Like, he catches it. And we went to Shannon, hey coach, he could catch the ball. Like long as we get it to him, he could catch the ball. And he learned. Jimmy
Right.
kept learning. And I remember Jimmy having a tight end like Jimmy was easy because I remember the play, it was Houston. We used to call us every time we get to the goal line. Like I said, Whipple playbook was redundant. So every time we got to the goal line, we would call Houston. And all it is I have my running back to the right, 3 receivers to the right, and running back will run a swing. Hank could come in motion, he'll run a drag. That'll be my first read if the wheel linebacker blitz. If he stays back, I come off of him and I go to my dig, my spot, back to my swing. And the dig was always Jimmy. And Jimmy, I will always tell him, hey, just run to the back of the end zone and turn around and I just throw it up to you. So if the wheel blitz, I'm going to Hank. If the wheel stays, I'm just going like this to Jimmy. And I remember against Virginia, Jimmy went 3rd round and only had 200 yards receiving, but he had 8 touchdowns. I was like, how in the world? He went 3rd round with 200 yards receiving, but he had 8 touchdowns where he was mossing the shit out of somebody.
And still in the
He
league.
had huge upside,
Still in the
Corey.
league.
His upside was incredible.
Incredible, man. We all saw what he turned into to become.
So happy for him.
So, Ja'Cory, so you just went through progressions, and obviously that's where Tyler's struggling, is going through progressions, getting the ball to the right guy. Take us inside that. How does that go bad for a quarterback?
I'll be honest with you. You can see it in their feet. You don't even have to know what the play is. You can tell when something's gonna go wrong when you start watching the quarterback feet get antsy in the pocket. Once they start getting antsy, that's their brain telling them that, all right, hey, look, you're done with your progression. You need to do something with the ball. You could see on some of his progressions that he probably should take the very first person that he sees coming open. Like it might be a hitch, it might be a quick out or something like that. But then he'll read to the deeper route and probably try to take that shot. Like it was one of the picks he threw. I don't know if it was a deep post or a seam down the middle of the field where it was like a couple guys underneath that was open. You could tell he kind of got locked in, and probably in practice against this coverage that person probably came open all the time. But in the game, it just didn't happen that way.
It just wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you gotta put in your mind, okay, 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3 down. And you can see it. You start holding the ball, you start patting the ball, that mean none but bad things are gonna happen after that.
And I've noticed he hasn't really been stepping into his throws. There's a lot almost like he's going off his back foot and the ball floats out there. He needs to really whip that ball.
If his knees hurting, like how they say his knees hurting, then you can't step into nothing.
Right.
I'm still dealing with
but
knees.
it won't be a good pass.
Yeah.
But I think it's his right knee, which is his push-off foot. So you're probably you're probably right.
Yeah, I was trying to play flag football.
Be playing.
I tried to play flag football for the fire department. We won goal. We win in 1 goal. But man, my knee. All I did was throw the ball, and my knees swelled up. My knees swelled up, and I'm trying to figure out what was going on.
Hey, look, I thought you were gonna say it's preventing you from climbing stairs with all your stuff on and the water.
Yeah,
You talking about flag football?
Going up the stairs and putting on your gear. If it's something real, it's a real fire. You start seeing something. Your adrenaline ain't gonna stop you. It ain't gonna let you stop because of a hurt knee. I've done that.
Wait. For the viewers to understand, he's a fireman now.
Oh yeah,
I've seen him on commercials. I've seen him on commercials. He's a fireman. What can you say? Where you're a fireman now?
Yeah. They can't find me. We got 100 different stations. I'm a fireman with Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, baby.
Man, has there ever been a call where somebody was like, "Man, my mechanic said, oh damn, that's Jacory."
Hey, we just had, HIPAA violation. Can't tell people business, but we did just have a call. We did just have a call where we went to this was last shift. Went to apartments and they had on University of Miami stuff. I never say anything.
Right.
I'm taking vitals, and my officer, he's a huge UM fan, and he's like, he tell the person, "Hey, y'all ever watch the Canes? I see I got on the Canes stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, here we go." And then the lady, she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm a Canes fan, but my husband, he the one that's a Canes fan." And I guess he overheard, and he was, because my lieutenant was like, "You don't know who this is?" I'm like, "Bro, just chill." And then he came out and he was like, That's Jacory. I know you." And so it is cool. It is cool when because people do it happens a lot. It happens a lot being in different territories, especially my old neighborhood and everything.
Right.
It happens like all the time.
Wow.
It's a blessing, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a blessing to put on his uniform and be able to show people that once football is done, that we're not just football players. We have the ability to be whatever we want to be. And I do try to advocate a lot of former players or guys that even if you made it, even if you had the opportunity to make it to the NFL, being a firefighter is not a bad job, especially down here in Miami. It's not a bad job to have. Down here in South Florida, you get to save people and you get to work out, stay in shape. Like it's a rewarding job, man.
Once a quarterback loses it, can he get it back?
It's hard. It's hard. You got to believe in yourself or have somebody believe in you enough to where you don't want to let them down. I feel that way. It could get done. I think we all went through it. Like I said, I had Jed Fish believe in me enough to where my junior year I got out of that funk of everything. Now it felt like everything was just coming, like just happening wrong my junior year, and I already know it because my mindset. Went into the year Heisman hopeful, me and Terrell Pryor, and immediately I already had in my mind I was done. This is my last year. I was like, I'm leaving after this year. I'm out, and it's like God didn't let that happen. I got humbled real quick. I got hurt, tore my labrum, played through that, went out there, and things just wasn't working out. And then I had to like realize, like, dang man, like I really had to humble myself. Not saying I was like some big-headed, arrogant person. I just had already told myself, I guess you could say I act like I made it. But I had already told myself, hey man, I'm done after this year.
And one other question I wanted to ask you. Let's say Mario goes with Emory Williams on Saturday. What is that going to be like? You've walked into that stadium. You've played there. What is this going to be like for a true freshman if it plays out that way to walk into that stadium and have to try to perform out on that field?
It depends on the type of person you are. That some crazy individuals like myself at the time that turns you on. It does something to you. Where it's like I'm telling you, I used to love playing away. Away was it just was something that you go out there, everybody hates you. So if you you prepared the right way, you're ready for anything, man. And I hope, I'm gonna be honest, I hope if no matter who they play, we're not winning the national championship this year. Go out there, balls to the wall, let these kids open up and throw the ball down the field, make plays, and just spread the ball around. I've been seeing that we could be losing and we just running the ball, running the ball, running the ball, running the ball. Let these kids open up the offense. No bubble screens. Just, man, get some good route concepts and put some plays in there. Try to win the game.
Sling it.
Yeah, slinging around. Let the kids have fun, man.
Well, Jacory,
you guys have to have a chip on their shoulder like these guys had, like you and LT.
You got T-Buck coming on, right?
Yeah. He know what happened. He know what happened.
Yeah.
He know what happened. I talked about it in my speech. You know what I said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, hey, man, Jacory, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show, man. And we can have you on all night because you're great. You hear the quarterback. You guys, you talk so well about, because we never played quarterback. I know, Bruce. Yeah. Bruce, you play quarterback?
Back in high school. Yeah.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I play quarterback out on the street with my kids.
Hey, okay. We
in Newark, New Jersey.
We all street quarterbacks count.
We're armchair quarterbacks. So getting to hear you come on, we appreciate it, man. And stay safe.
I will.
Continue to save lives.
We're honoring Gino. Can you go?
Yeah, you come to. Are you working then, or you come
next Saturday? Next week.
Yeah, the Louisville.
The Louisville. I work next Saturday, November 18th. I work next Saturday. So I'll be watching at the station in between.
I'll hold it down for you. I send you some text messages.
I appreciate that, man.
But Jacory, man, again, thank you so much, man, and again, stay safe. And keep saving lives, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me, man. It's good.
Great seeing you,
Jacory. Good to see you again, man. We should hook up one of these days, and we'll light a fire.
It's not illegal now.
All right, I'm gonna try to get your number.
Yeah. You guys can all have my number.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Jacory.
What a nice kid.
Yeah.
Bruce, I really think you had some violations, bro. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't my restaurant. I just talked to the lady in the line and said, let her in.
Hey, man, I'm starting to think you had some violations, bro. You
That's okay. You'll be paying the fine.
Hey, look, you was running around with Nevin, weren't you?
No, him I don't know. No, I don't know him.
All right, LT, let's take care of some business real quick here.
All right, let's go.
Let's see. Let's start out by letting everybody see the new CaneSwear.
Welcome to CaneSwear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSwear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSwear, the spot Miami fans shop.
And those of you that haven't been to CaneSwear yet this season, make sure if you live locally, you get there. You got the holiday season coming up. Always need some Cane stuff for your loved ones. And CaneSwear, like I said earlier in the show, has the largest selection of Hurricanes merchandise ever assembled under one roof. They moved their store down the same plaza where they've been for years to a larger location. They've got T-shirts, jerseys, polos, hats, hoodies, flags, decals, magnets, anything that you can think of with a Cane logo on it. They have at CaneSwear with all sizes for men, women, kids, and babies. And you know what? They even have gear for your pets. How about that? So let's say you're a Dolphin fan. okay, and you cheer for other teams besides the Canes, you can go there. Yep, they got Dolphin stuff, Panther stuff, Inter Miami soccer gear, Marlins too. Wow. Look at Lamar. Miami Heat. Whatever your favorite team is, you can get some your gear covered at CaneSport. So go by their store, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. It's right next to Les Spada's Sub Shop, Lamar, that feeds Lamar to the ham and cheese subs. Les Spada's. There it is. The ham and cheese sub.
He holds that like his babies.
That Lamar's not going to eat until after the show because he doesn't want his mom and dad calling him up and telling him he's rude.
That's right.
And CaneSport is always open at CaneSport.com. So 2655 South University Drive in Davie, CaneSport.com for all your Miami Hurricanes merchandise needs.
That store is incredible. I go in there and it's like I feel bad because I'm looking. I'm not buying anything yet, but I'm looking and there's a million things you could buy in there, and it's just incredible. But
So
you know,
much
I've
stuff.
got a lot of things over the years. Love that store. Love that. I love getting gift certificates for my birthday and things like that. That's a good idea because that's a great place to get it from.
All right, and the Lamar Thomas Show is also sponsored by the Florida Beach Bowl, which is a new bowl game that's going to be at Drive Pink Stadium in December that was started by a former Hurricane who has not allowed us to reveal his identity just yet. But one of these weeks on this show, we are going to get to reveal his identity because he's going to come and join us. LT, tell us about the Florida Beach Bowl.
All right. South Florida, are you ready for the highly anticipated Florida Beach Bowl scheduled for December 13th? 2023 at 7:30 at Drive Pink Stadium in the city of Fort Lauderdale. This inaugural event features showcases of historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, from the SIAC and the CIAA football programs, battling it out on sun-drenched shores of South Florida. This bowl game is all about uniting and showcasing Broward County as a whole. In addition to the main event, the Florida Beach Bowl is hosting a golf tournament. Guess who will be there? I will with my team. Also, they're hosting a 5K run that I might go to that and walk that. A community concert and various special events, all designed to engage and uplift our community. For more information, visit www.floridabeachbowl.com.
And there's a flyer for the golf tournament on December the 8th. If anybody wants to participate in that one, they can get more information on it at floridabeachbowl.com as well. All right, LT. This is my favorite one right here because I like me. The law firm of Rotson and Faxedomo. I personally,
you know something we don't know, Gary. You need to.
I'm just joking, but no. In all seriousness, I mean, like she's bad. Like look at like how she's posed in that picture. Like if you need a lawyer to get you out of a jam, like doesn't that make you want to go to Rotson and Faxedomo, Lamar?
I don't know. Ask Lori. Keep talking like this. She's going to find out.
I'll need you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Perhaps the most stressful and disconcerting events that can occur in a person's life. You're suddenly faced with criminal prosecution. So many fears and questions arise, whether you've been arrested for driving under the influence or indicted in federal court. Few of us are ever prepared for the anxiety of serious potential repercussions that accompany criminal charges. Although many criminal offenses carry the very real potential for jail time, even less serious crimes can have long-lasting consequences, such as loss of jobs, immigration consequences, felony convictions. At Rotson and Faxedomo, they are result-oriented defense firm with a focus on specialized client attention. Mickey and Jude are both well-respected, experienced, and aggressive criminal defense lawyers with a reputation for devoting 100% of their skills and talent to each and every case. Their goal is to handle your criminal matter effectively and quickly so that you can put the ordeal behind you and move on with your life. The lawyers at Ratson and Patridomo pride themselves on understanding that your case is troubling to not only you, but your family as well, while the end result is ultimately the most important thing. Mickey and Jude recognize that much of the anxiety associated with the criminal offenses stem from you not knowing what will happen next. Now listen, this law firm, they do amazing work. They pride themselves in winning and providing the best defense they can provide. In 2014, they were named Florida Super Lawyers for their skills, experience, and passion, dedication, and aggressively pursuing the best possible outcomes for their clients. Again, we're not saying that you should have this number on speed dial, but we're saying you should in case something. And if you have a kid that's in school down south, they do a lot of work with youth, with young adults, helping them get out of trouble too. So obviously you see the number there, 305-600-3519, 305-600-3519. Write it down. Just have it in your wallet, because who knows? You just want to, it's just like having insurance. You just want to have it just in case. And they'll do a great job of representing their clients.
All right, and the show's also sponsored by Williamson Cadillac, where Lamar goes to buy his wheels. Lamar walks in, they start saluting because they know he's going to buy a couple of cars.
At
that moment. So Williamson Cadillac, you can go see Jermaine Chambers, former Cane, down there. He will hook you up with the right salesmen, the right managers, and get you the best deal. And then we got a new sponsor, and I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this is basically what happened. Lamar's wife comes home. She's all bruised and battered and whatever. And he says, "What happened to you?" She said, "I got you a new sponsor for your show." So LT, tell us about Life Fitness and Athletics.
Well, first of all, it's located in Cooper City, and my wife goes and works out there. It's CrossFit. It is, they're intense in there, and it is a family-oriented type deal. You know, you got kids in there from young age all the way up to 70-year-old people in there doing this workout. They got classes all during the day, from 5 a.m. all the way up to 7:30 at night. And these classes are great. My wife comes home, she is tired, but I tell you what, she looks good. So I'm telling you, send your people over there. Go over there, lose some of them pounds, get in the right frame of mind, and go to Life Fitness over in Cooper City. They'll get you right. I mean, I would go over there, but I'm looking pretty damn good myself right now. So, if I ever get a little bit more weight, I'll come over there to Life. But you need to go check them out. The number is 305-812-3153, and you can look them up on IG. They're going to be our sponsor for a couple weeks on the show, so we'll have more information to talk, and probably some pictures showing some workouts. Maybe my wife might take a picture in there. I need to see who her personal trainer is too, and hopefully ain't no dude. But we'll talk about that later.
All right, now everybody that's watching, go get your popcorn, because we're all just going to lean back in our chairs, because this is going to be the prelude to Miami and Florida State on Saturday. And, we don't know how the game's going to go, but these two guys certainly have a lot of memory. Of course, Lamar, and our next guest, Mr. Terrell Buckley, who is so much part of this Miami FSU history. And T-Buck, welcome to the Lamar Thomas Show. And I thank you so much for having Lamar on your coaching staff this past season with the XFL. And beyond that, it's all yours, guys.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Buckley is nice. I'm going to cut you off. I want to. Hold on, man. You ain't the head coach here. You're not the head coach here. Okay.
Hey, let me answer the question, man. I'm on the stage. Yes, I am a proud FSU dad. Also, get that in there. We got all this hurricane gear I mean, I come on the show and it's like the U this and Hurricane that, and y'all watched the game last week too. I might take some of that stuff down, but anyway, thank you, Mr. Thomas, for allowing me to come on your show.
Again,
Hurricane show. I appreciate everything. Should be pretty good this week for us.
Well, I want to. So on my show, I usually talk about why guys went to their certain universities.
Okay.
So we won't do any different. We'll ask you why Florida State. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I would say I didn't really want to take the Pell Grant money from Miami, and so Florida State was.
You had to enroll to get the money, though, T-Buck.
No, they was giving it out from the start. I mean, I just got a little bit more when I got there. But no, in all seriousness, I visit a few schools. The further I came down south was Gainesville. Miami was on the list, but you had Bobby Bowden, Mick Andrews, Deion Sanders, and Mick Andrews was the lead recruiter and the DB coach, and he was coaching Deion Sanders. So it's like if I felt like I was one of the best defensive backs in the country as a high school player, why not get coached by arguably the best defensive back in the country, and soon to be, I didn't know it at that time, but the 5th pick and Hall of Fame and best corner obviously ever played a game in the NFL.
And so the schools that I know both of the Mississippi schools were in there. They probably didn't want to let you get out of there, right?
Correct.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi State had every offer. I visit the 2 Mississippi schools, University of Mississippi and Mississippi State. Mississippi State, neither one of them was very good, and I was accustomed and used to winning, so that was X'd off the list.
And in high school, you play.
Jimmy, the coach, trying to recruit you?
From who? From where?
Miami.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad coach to play for, though.
Well, I mean, now y'all see the end result. That's what happens with a lot of people. But in the middle of the time, it wasn't like that. And, Jimmy got his revenge on me with the Dolphins, so we'll call it even.
So going back to your recruiting process, so you decide on Florida State after turning down those other schools, and you were coming out of high school. You were 17 when you got to college.
Yes, I was a little young. My birthday is in June, so one of those late birthdays, and started early. So yes, I was a young freshman. Some guys had me about 2 years, and you really don't know. It was like practicing against BYU.
Wow.
All those guys are older than us.
I get it.
I still don't understand that for the life of me. How we out there 17, 18, these guys 23, 24, and they actually I know they got to go and do their sabbatical, but playing against a whole team full of their young men is pretty tough.
And you coming from Pascagoula, Mississippi, where you Shane Matthews and Kes McCorvey were all on y'all all on the same high school team. So you talk about winning. You came from a winning program. So going to Florida State, at the time, you thought that it was a winning program, correct? With a good quality head coach in Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews. Correct.
Arguably the best defensive assistant coordinator ever, and arguably the greatest head coach, recruiter / person ever in Coach Bowden. So yes.
Okay, and so you get there, and I think the first game we played you guys was 89. Your first year, and you win that night. You actually win that night.
Yes,
and
probably the loudest game I played in, and I think you was out there, and I smashed you real quick. And
well, that's Well, hold on.
And
That's
then,
what I want to talk
the
about.
running back, Leonard Conley, I busted him up on the sideline, made him fumble, and we just got out of there with a win.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Well,
y'all
first of all, it didn't happen like that.
Yeah,
but let's go back to how it happened. So I didn't know who you were. Okay. I thought that Florida State had just signed this new little corner, and they put you out there on me, and I jumped up, and I think my kneecap hit you in the head, top of your helmet, and they called pass interference. On my way down, you pulled me down.
No, they actually said it was unnecessary roughness because you was only 135 pounds.
Okay,
and I put my forearm in your ribs.
Well, whatever it was,
roughness because you can't do little kids like that all the time. You know?
But whatever it was, we got first and goal on the one, and then we fumbled the next play. Shannon Crowell, we fumbled, and we end up losing. We end up losing. So you were happy after that game. The only time you've ever been happy after University of Miami and Florida State game, because after that, them 2 other years, you took some L's. And let's talk about the L's you took. Okay.
Yeah.
Next year.
You in 3 years, you had 1 catch for like 8 yards. You didn't do nothing else the rest of them games. So you was a big part of the win.
Let's get to that.
We had a wide right.
Which we won.
And I think Steve McGuire ran the ball pretty well one year.
Yes, he
so
ran
that
over
was
a lot
like
of y'all.
Story. I think
he ran over a lot of y'all.
You and Luke was in the corner celebrating you, and I don't know why, because you didn't do nothing.
Well, first of all, here's the thing that I must say. As a team player, okay, well, let's go back to the game after the freshman year, where I beat you for the touchdown, which actually I scored the touchdown on you, and I like to say that touchdown put me on the map. So that's why I've always liked you, because that touchdown made me a household name.
Well, I remember I had a high sprained ankle.
Well, you shouldn't have been out there.
I really don't remember. I know it was hot that day.
You shouldn't have been out there.
Steve McGuire was running pretty well, and I don't remember really nothing else.
Hey, listen, I got a text from Stephen McGuire, T-Buck.
Yeah.
Stephen wants to know why you punched him in the mouth. And tell
that's
him
when you
this Saturday.
That's when you were a tackler. See what people don't understand. You were a great tackler when you were young. Then the next year, hey, look here, hey, Gary, look here. The next year I come out, he down there butt naked out there. He ain't got no pads on. He like, bro, I'm here to cover.
Well, in college, you got boundary corner, you got field corner, and for the first 2 years, I played boundary corner. You got the support.
They were hiding you. They were hiding you in the boundary.
No, I was physical. I was bringing it, and that was accidental with Steve McGraw. I was just trying to make a tackle. I was physical. I was tough. I had forearm pad on. From Mississippi, that's what we do. We're football players. I just happened to play corner, but I was a physical nature type player, and if I would have caught Lamar on one of them drag routes or something, he would have felt it too, right? The first 2 years.
Okay,
then I moved to field corner. Field corner, more of a cover guy, so you cover both areas. You're physical, and you can go out and cover. So,
well, let's talk about that next year that you came out to cover the wide right one, where you and Mickey Andrews, who you said was one of the smartest college football coaches, coordinators, you came up with a game plan.
Yes.
Your game plan was to follow one of the greatest receivers in Miami history.
Mike Irvin just left, so we had to change our game plan when Mike left.
Wait. You had to follow me, so the game plan was on third down. They put T-Buck over me on third down, which we said, and this is how you get a game plan and you stick with it. We said because T-Buck was a game changer, we did not want to take a chance on giving him an opportunity to change the game. So we already had said we were going to throw away from him. But we didn't know on third down he was going to come out and cover me. After the first third down, I said, oh, crap. Well, maybe it was just a mistake. We get the third down again, he's covering me. I'm like, oh, you know what? It is what it is. I got to be a team leader. If it takes this guy, their best corner guy, and put him over me, and we can throw those other guys, as long as we get the win, I'm good with it. Mm-hmm. And You actually end up.
Unfortunately, it didn't, and that's why I say Coach Andrews was, you could say, ahead of his time. You know, they give Coach Saban, they give all these guys Belichick. When I went to the NFL, matching up and doing all that. Well, we was doing that in college. We was switching coverages, matching up, like Lamar just said, on first and second down, out wide, third down. Just, you know, into my analytics, you look at who's getting all the catches on third down. It was Lamar Thomas. He was making big plays. So if we was gonna go down, we was gonna go down with a fight. Mano a mano, let's see what happens. And our thing was, if they do throw 7, 8 balls over there, you know, Lamar kicked, because he was a great player, obviously. He catch 1 or 2, that's fine. I knew I was gonna get 1 or 2. And those 1 or 2 could be to the house. That's kind of how we put that together.
And that's what our game plan. We said we can't let one person change the game. Which, if you catch it, ain't nobody catching you. The only person out there that probably could have caught you was Kevin. But if you going one way and he's going the other way, that's all. And plus, you were a hell of a return guy. So we stuck with the game plan. Obviously, we end up winning the game. And you know,
I would say we end up losing it versus y'all winning.
I
think you go to some catches and got throwing the ball, and it was the last 8 minutes of the game for us was not very good. We let you guys back in. We always had a better team, more talent, but we just couldn't make.
Do you think that your minds went to the Governor Square Mall and y'all was thinking about all the free shoes y'all was getting over there or something? I mean, what happened at the end? I mean, because you totally lost it.
Gary said, we're going to set it up on the left-hand side. He asked the way he wanted the ball. He said, we put it over on the left side. If you watch Casey, he gets it and goes to the left side because they said, that's my money shot. That's my Pell Grant. You know, we put a Miami Hurricane thing up in the thing. Said Pell Grant hit it right here, and he freaking missed it.
Keep bringing up this Pell Grant stuff.
But the next year, Miami
he was gone. But he was gone. So I don't want to talk about that because I took it out on that secondary. For the year that you held me back, I took it out on their ass.
And that's one of my. I wish they would have had the NIL stuff right now. I would have been there, and we would have been able to settle this. I wouldn't have.
Why would you? You the 5th pick of the draft.
It didn't matter. I didn't play for that totally. But the NIL would have had. I would have had a little money in my pocket. I would have stayed. I love college. That's one of the things. I wish I could have been like Peyton Manning. You know, they said, well, why Peyton stay? Well, his dad was Archie Manning, and he loved the game. He wanted to do some things. I was like that, but when you anywhere from 1 to 5 pick, and you don't have nothing, you got to go.
You got to go, and you know you was getting free admission to the moon up there. So that was part of the NIL deal you had up there. But let's talk about when you went to the pros. But I hate this. I want to just throw this out there because when you got to the pros, you got different on me, Buck. You got the money, but you won't even accept my collect calls.
Well, I didn't change. I wasn't accepting it when I was in college, so I actually was the same. The expectations was different. This is the thing that Florida State family do. Deion said, save your money.
Correct. Don't
change a whole lot. Get you a couple massage, take care of your stuff, but don't change stuff. And I didn't change.
And guess what? That advice that Deion gave him, you must have took it home because you the cheapest bastard I ever met. Because you only spend money on golf. That's it.
It's one more cheaper than I am. You know who that is.
Well, your new wife, Michelle, she got you splurging a little bit. You even dressing a little better than got some red bottom shoes and stuff. But other than that, you wasn't spending money on nothing.
Well, I took that off the golf course. That's the money you gave me on the golf course. So what I do is take my earnings off the golf course, keep it, stash it, and then I go splurge.
Well, I sure hope Michelle listening so she know you got a stash now. I might send her a text message right now about your stash. Let's get back to the Florida State Miami game. So, recently you heard there's a statue up there at Florida State's locker room of you. It's miniature size.
They put that outside. They put the number on that ring of honor and all that.
It's life size. like you are right now. It's probably like the trophy right there to your
It's
to your left.
5'11". Oh, that's the Jim Thorpe.
5'11".
This is the
Wait, hold on, wait. Did you say 5'11"?
Florida State room.
You haven't even touched 5'11". You 5'8.5", man.
5'11".
Stop lying to yourself. So anyway, you win all these awards
together.
Well, he was the head coach, and I was the assistant coach. He was the head coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Whatever. And so it was an interesting dynamic because he was the head coach. Lamar Thomas had to bite his tongue a lot, and
I imagine
it's a different situation because as we worked together, because we worked together at Louisville and we went recruiting everywhere together. Everybody thought of him as my little side friend, little guy. So I talked first, and then he would sit on the table, and he looked like a little character. And
Lamar, he was the show. Let's get it right. You know how you have, if you look at any of the what you call the mob shows or bank show, whoever's in charge, right? They don't do all that talk. So you call the side show.
A side show.
It's like Miami. It's like this game this week. Everybody really is coming to see Florida State. Miami is not even a U no more. We don't say the U.
Okay, first of all,
they're like the side show. It's like that, like before a concert, you come out and get everybody hyped. And then they say, okay, we want to see the real show. We want to see Beyonce.
Well, other than
this, wait, we want to see. We want to see what we really. We don't. That was nice. They got us.
I'm cutting you off.
That's kind of how Miami is for us right now. Because when you ranked in the top 4, you get ready to go to college playoffs. Your mindset is totally different.
Didn't you guys make that video, and then you get your ass kicked 31-0? Isn't that what happened, T-Buck?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there.
I was in high school winning championship.
He was in high school.
Oh, he was in high school. Okay.
I was in high school winning championship. I showed you the ring. I got a bunch of rings.
What Buckley? Can I?
Oh my God! Y'all really want to see the Super Bowl ring too? I'll show y'all that too. And then
you're not the head coach.
We're honoring Jameis Winston. I think this year he has that national championship ring.
Gary, just cut him.
When was the last time that Miami has been in like a championship game?
Well, what's very interesting to me, Terrell Buckley.
I did see y'all on like that 30 for 30. Y'all still living off that? Okay. All right.
Okay, what's very interesting, I've never seen you wear Florida State stuff until this year. I mean, it's you all of a sudden you jumped on the bandwagon. I see you down there.
I just left college. I'm in the pros now, so I can support my alma mater. I went to the game. I think it was Duke game. It was like 85,000 people there. I think I was gonna come to Miami game when I went down with the Dolphins. When I went with Zach Hall of Fame thing, and they said had plenty of tickets. I could actually sit on sideline if I wanted to, but I didn't really want to. It was like 10,000 people there. And then I think I got beat by Georgia Tech or somebody. I think at the end of the game it was like 5,000 people there.
So I don't even want to know what your.
Were you at the game?
What's your? Yes, I was.
Do you see
Yes.
Why? You got plenty of room down on the field and in the side. You get sidelines. You got big lounge chairs you can sit in.
All right.
What time you go to the game? Like an hour before the game? 30 minutes?
I tailgate.
Plenty.
I go and I speak to the fans and.
About 10 people? I bet you a bunch of former Hurricanes. You having
a good time tonight, huh, Buck?
Let me say you, Sal, Horace Copeland, Gino Torretta.
By the way, is getting his jersey retired, the Louisville game, for being the Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
That's just remember that.
Good for him. Good for the U. They put some more people up there.
Hey, you help.
Up there? You should be close. He was throwing to you.
Hey man, I'm just happy my quarterback is up there. My quarterback is up there. My quarterback that completed passes on you.
In all seriousness, the quarterback goes up. Who he's throwing to should go up to.
That makes a lot of sense.
Dan Marino and the Dupers, Mark. You're right.
You're right.
You know,
you're right.
Y'all had some stuff going on, man. Y'all was really good. You beating Fresno State and Wyoming,
and Florida State.
Us, though.
And Florida State. My record was, if I count my red shirt year, it was I lost one game, 4 wins and 1 loss.
But I was
and
saying,
that one loss, I still got a championship.
Y'all averaged like 45 points when y'all played us, and just holding y'all to under 20, 25 was pretty good. Just like this weekend, if you guys can hold us to under 40 points, I call that a moral victory for y'all. That's y'all really improved if you can keep us.
Well, y'all really feeling yourselves right now. I mean,
no,
we ain't heard from y'all in 3-4 years, but this year y'all think y'all
no.
You know, I might have to pull for Ohio State or somebody.
Did we beat y'all last year? We talking about
yes, it was a blowout. It was a blowout because we didn't realize it was a lot to a little bit. We didn't realize it was a rivalry game.
Nobody year before that?
I can't remember back that far. But
okay.
When did you wasn't even cheering for them?
Why
you just started cheering for Florida State ever since they got your little statue. Which, by the way, if I was going to the game this weekend, I was gonna pee on that statue. I promise you that.
You had to get in there first. We got security, you know. Now, if you do bring that Pell Grant check, they might let you in there.
Hey man, hey. Speaking of check, you know, you want to bring up this. Now, this is how good of a friend I am to this guy. He got 2 jobs, well, actually 3 jobs, maybe 2 or 3 jobs because of his loyal brother. And he repaid me.
Yeah, you did. That was good.
But he repaid me. He gave me the assistant head coach. But let me tell you how the story went. He wanted to get out of Louisville so bad he could not stand Grantham. Oh my God, Grantham and him were like oil and vinegar or water or whatever the hell they don't get it. So he wanted to get out of there. So I was just happened to be on. Well, first of all, I got him the job at Louisville. He was at Akron.
He was at
Akron. The Zip. And
I live across the street from LeBron too.
Coach Petrino gives me the job, and the first thing out of my mouth is thank you. Hey, coach, do you have a DB coach? He goes, nah, not yet. I said, Terrell Buckley, coach. He goes, T-Buck. Where is he now? I go, he's in Akron. He goes, where the hell is that? And I go, I don't know, coach. He said, can he be there in 2 days? I said, coach, he could be here tonight. Okay? I get him the job. No interview. I get him the job. He rocking with me. 2 years later, he ready to go. Just so happen I'm on the phone with Knox from Mississippi State. Just talking to him about Great Knox. I'm on the phone talking to him about Petrino. And I'm on football school. I said, hey, man, y'all DB coach just left. He said, yeah, man. He went da-da-da. I said, you know T-Buck from Mississippi? He said, oh, damn, he is from Mississippi. You think he'd be interested in the job? I said, there's a bear shit in the woods? He said, give me the number. I gave him the number, right? I don't hear from Buck for about 3 hours. I called him up. I said, what's up, Buck? He said, you sitting down? I said, nah, what's up? I'm leaving. So you got the job? And it was like 100,000 more than what he was making at Mississippi at Louisville. I said, good.
And he came and helped me pack. So
yeah, and so he said, what's up? Why is it so quiet? I said, I'm in the car on the way to help you get up out of here right now. So I get him the gig, and he goes off and he does great things. He coaches at Ole Miss, and he gets the head coaching job, and he returns the favor and hires this guy. And I'm very appreciative. He finally paid me back for the raises I got him, so I appreciate it. He's a good guy, except for this week. So I've told all the Florida State guys, don't call me this week.
Well, we ain't got to call. Usually you got to be. You got to be nervous or a little afraid of your opponent. I know they said it's rival and rival week, but I just don't see it. I'm watching you guys last week against NC State, and I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, Miami, are they gonna pull this out? Are they gonna make the necessary plays at the end of the game? And I was very disappointed because you didn't. It was like the same thing. Clock management, rotation, like who, I mean, and I mean, what are we doing?
First of all, let's be honest, but you weren't watching that game for that. You were watching that game to see who the hell could come to the XFL. That's what you were looking at. So don't even go there. You like, oh yeah, he don't like he can go
I
forward.
saw the end though. That was very disappointing. But y'all have had a few of those. I don't think. I mean, we didn't play great the first half, but what we did was made enough plays. You can tell teams that expect to win and play to win versus teams just hanging on and hoping. I've been as a coach, I've been on a few of those teams where you just holding your breath and like, man, I'm hoping to win. When it's bad, something bad gonna happen. Versus just the whole thing is this is live football. Nobody's gonna be perfect. You're gonna make some mistakes. Don't get caught up on it. I learned this last year too. Just keep playing, keep plugging away, keep trying to put the guys in position to make plays. And then when it's your turn to be under control and make the right decision as a coach to win the ball game, then you have to be able to do that. And I think there's a big difference between that you see in the two teams.
Well, I can say this. 3 years ago, there was uncertainty about Mike Nobel. Okay, but they grew together, team wise, coaching wise, program wise, and I think that's where we are. Talking to what's my man that coaches the D line? I talked to him.
Jason Taylor.
No, for Florida State. He's been there forever. Odell. Talking to Odell before the game last year, we were looking across the field. He said, when I look at that team over there, we were 3 years ago. Uncertainty, not having an identity, not believing. Got to get guys out of there. You got to bring better guys in, and that's where we are, and that's where you're trying to get. And it's not going to work until you bring those things together, and you got to believe. And I think that's where we're trying to get to, where you guys have, because you guys rose from the ashes now, because that first year they wanted to get rid of Novell. And remember, your quarterback was just running around. He wasn't throwing it. He was just running around. But he matured. The head coach matured. The program matured. And look at where you are now. I hate to give you guys
the NIL stuff. No, not the NIL. The transfer portal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Florida State is significantly better with Burt and the two receivers. Wow. But Lamar's right. Your quarterback has gone to the highest level. He's really good. I don't know if he's a draft guy, but I don't really know. But he's really good. And the difference between our two teams is the quarterback. If you flip the quarterbacks, it would be a hell of a game. But we don't have a guy like that. We don't have a guy who can make something out of nothing. Jordan Travis constantly makes something out of nothing. And that's a big, big advantage for your team. He's really
that's
good.
at every level. That the guy that is controlling that pill back there, if he is doing what you want, expecting to do and be able to make something out of nothing, like you just said, it goes a long way. No different than what we had last year at XFL with Orlando. Kind of the same situation. Quarterback plays better, the O-line plays better, helps the quarterback. You stop them on some drives. You have a few big plays here and there. Anything can happen.
Right. Yeah, I watched last year.
But it's a question I want to ask you. I'm looking at the background back there. You got the Florida State hat, like you just put up there. It's a jersey hanging off the chair.
This is the
jersey hanging off the chair.
Movie room, the black room. This is where all the Hall of Fame, Leroy Butler, all the guys.
Nice little setting out there.
And where's my jersey?
Say what?
Where's my jersey?
It's two people go up at two kinds, either Florida State guys or a coach. And got Hall of Famers I got the highest paid defensive back in the NFL right now on the wall. Y'all don't see Jair Alexander. You got Xavier Rose, who, when you talk about recruiting, grew up right across the street from the Dolphins stadium that we got to come to Florida State, Miami. I think that's the difference. Talking about the transfer further and recruiting, the eye is being able to identify them guys, develop them, and go. And side note, that you look at us in the Orlando Gardens last year, we made some mistakes on the offensive line trying to develop some guys when we shouldn't have. They told us about some developmental stuff, but we recognized we had made a mistake and immediately started to make that change. I think that's a growth that coaches, I know for me personally, if you're able to see that, because all of them ain't going to be perfect, and make the change and then get somebody in there that's going to make you better. That's what Miami is going through. That's what Florida State has gone through, and they can still get better. So as long as you have that mindset, you should be fine.
Again, back to what I was saying, there's no Lamar Thomas jersey up there in that wall, which what's the deal?
Why would I have a Lamar Thomas Miami Hurricane jersey up there?
Because we're friends, and I defeated you more times than anybody else. So that's why.
We count. We had 150 some plays. Let's just say you average 50 plays a game.
Right.
In 3 years, you had one catch for 8 yards. One catch for 8 yards.
It was actually one. It was actually for 10 for touchdown, and then the next year, we ran the ball. We rushed for down to 300 yards that game.
I had forced fumble, pick, punt return 15 some yards, about 4 or 5 breakups, like 20 tackles. So, where is the competition? Where
did you have 20
on
tackles?
the scoreboard?
I'm talking about over 3 years.
Over 3 years? Okay, well,
Over 3 years. You talking about one play that you video. Now he going to like the high school kids and on the XOs, the video and on that one play. Don't show nothing else.
Hey man, that's all I need to show.
Listen to this. I called him last year trying to show the receivers like how to run the route from the Dolphins. He was trying to show them how he get in and out of his break. And so I go up and say, you keep showing all the plays where you get a nice release. Show them ones where I'm jamming you to the ground.
Because that didn't happen, Buck.
You say uncle.
That didn't happen. But that didn't happen. But I can bring on any guys from that team, and I'm gonna bring them on the show.
You got the tape.
And
they'll
talk about how I tore you up in practice.
We don't need everybody coming on Ron Day talking all these good things about. You got the tape. Show the tape. We don't need.
I do have the tape. What's your prediction on this game? Let's get you off there. What's your prediction?
Okay, because y'all will be in and out quick too.
I figured you getting on my nerves.
The game's gonna be pretty. The first quarter pretty electric. Y'all make a few plays. I think we're gonna wear y'all down, Benson. Norvell is a little nicer than me. So I say 42-17. Like I'll try to run the score up on y'all. I'll try to put 60. But I would say
is it ill feelings from back in college or something? What's going on?
42-17.
Well, you give them a 17 point. We appreciate that. We thank you.
I give you 7. Y'all gonna come. Y'all got talent, man. Y'all. The quarterback can throw it deep. You got a good receiver. Tight end look pretty good. Running back's okay. I mean, y'all got some talent.
First of all, you ain't watched this because we ain't got no tight end.
Right. We don't have
we need to get your ass. We need to cut him off right now. He's been making up stuff. We appreciate you coming on, Coach Buckley, but you lost me right there. You tried.
Y'all have no tight end, man. I saw a tight end catch the ball.
No, man. That's one of the things we knocking over here. We ain't throwing it to the tight end.
Well, that don't mean y'all don't have a tight end.
They hurt, man. I don't know what the
He's
problem.
hurt.
We don't even coach a tight end.
Y'all have
It's a
one
bad
tight
deal.
end on the roster.
No, we have two. One is in his 8th year or 12th year, and he doesn't catch that many balls. And the other, Arroyo, the stud, supposedly is out. He's been out almost all season.
Yeah,
and Riley Williams doesn't seem to be able to catch the ball. And then the kid we stole from Alabama, Jaleel Skinner, he can't even get on the field. So we're not doing too well.
And we ain't doing too well right now. So you bringing up tight end just lets me know you ain't watching us. But you wanted to be at UM. But the fact that we were gonna put you as kicker, it ain't work right. So, but we appreciate you, hey man. Good luck in the game. Are you going up?
We do have a great kicker, though. I like the kicker we have, Morales.
Oh, you finally got a kicker?
Yeah. No, he's talking about our guy.
Oh, you talking about our guy?
I'm talking about our guy.
Oh, your guy. So you got a kicker now at Florida State. What's his name?
We've been had a kicker. I'm talking about Borgales, man, for us.
Oh, well, Borgales, yes. We Borgales we have Borgales' younger brother is our kicker from University of Miami.
No, y'all talking about watch the game. He pretty good. I've seen him kick some stuff.
Yes, he is pretty good. Except he missed the field goal last week, but he had kicked 14 straight before that. So, but Mr. Buckley, are you going to the game on Saturday?
Absolutely not.
That's loyalty for you.
Okay, it's a little chink in the armor.
I go to the games where I know it's gonna be like a battle. I went to the Clemson game last year, it was in. But games, it's like, if they was playing like last week, Pittsburgh, I probably went to the game, at home. But Florida, maybe, I don't think I need to go to this game.
I think Louisville and Florida State for the ACC title could be a really good game. They're pretty good.
That could be.
They're well coached. Jeff Brom's
they're well coached. We match up. The thing about it, you got to look at the matchups. I think that'll be a good matchup because they have a bunch of athletes. We have a bunch of athletes. Then it's going to come down to the coaching thing. But that will be a very good game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Buckley, we appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna cut you off because you don't stay too long. But I do want to say one more thing, and stop doing that. I do want to say one more thing. You did not help in the recruiting of Lamar Jackson, by the way. So stop lying about that. I get you were not a helper in the recruiting of Lamar Jackson. So stop. I've read some reports where you say you was a secondary recruiter. You sound like Garrett McGee now. So
no,
stay in your lane.
I told you what we said earlier about the show and the substance. When we was in the locker room and you was in there putting on the show, I was talking to Lamar on the side.
Oh my God.
And then after that, it was over.
Oh my God.
I told him I did 5%. You did 95%. Give me my 5%.
I appreciate that. Hey, Mr. Buck, I was about to say Coach Buckley. Good luck this weekend on Free Shoe University, playing against the University of Miami. We hope nothing but not the best for you guys, okay?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'm glad you said University of Miami. I think the U is gone. Y'all need to stop like the shirt you got on. Just go on, circle that, make that an O or cut it off or something. Just say University of Miami. We're an educational institution. We're private. We have about 10,000 fans, and we're proud of it. And I wish you guys best of luck. Stay healthy. Play hard. Give us a good game, man, and don't take it personal.
Hey, by the way, your goddaughters and godson, they all say they want to go to the University of Miami, so you make sure you donate to that fund, okay? Thank you so much.
Well, we donate that. By the time they get of age, really what they know what's going on, they ain't gonna want to go.
Oh my God. Tell Michelle I said hi. All right, man. Go work on your golf game. You're probably gonna stretch before you just pass your bedtime. Good night.
Yeah, I see you soon.
Good seeing you, T-Buck.
All right, man. Thank y'all.
Is he still the coach of your team?
Oh my God.
We don't know yet. That's why we didn't talk much about the XFL because the merger is going on and they haven't decided what teams they're going to keep yet. So, and it is past his bedtime for him to do this show. It's past his bedtime because
he's got to be close to yours too.
Well, no, I got kids, man. I got kids. Buck is stretching at 9 o'clock. He's laying on the floor stretching, and then he gets in the bed, and then he wakes up to stretch some more, and then he goes to the golf course and stretches some more. He has to get there an hour and a half before the hit balls and all that other shit. When I just show up to the tee box, give me 2 off the first tee, and let's ride.
All right, Bruce, parting thoughts for the night?
After that, I don't have any. All I know is I just hope our team shows up. I hope they figure a few things out offensively. I don't care who's the quarterback. I really don't. I want to win. I don't think so, but I want to see a good game. I want to see us play physical and attack these guys. And on offense, try things. And if we don't succeed, at least we play hard. I would assume that Mario wants to make this physical. He wants to shorten the game. So I'm pretty sure they're going to run and run and run. Probably not that different than the Clemson game because Clemson's defense is pretty damn good. Could we score enough points to win? I don't know. Will they make mistakes like Clemson did? I don't know. I just hope it's a good game. I don't want to get blown out again because that would be embarrassing. And it would make the heat on everybody even worse. So let's just play a good, clean game, and hopefully we're in it in the fourth quarter.
All right.
Agree?
All right, Bruce. Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, there's so many unknowns going into this game.
So many.
I mean, I think that Miami's better than 7-3, right? Than a 6-3 rather. I really do. I think when you look at the way they've lost those 3 games, but then they won 2 in overtime. So maybe the old cliche, you are what your record says you are, applies here. But
I don't know if we would have said that we would have beaten 2 out of the 3 big names we played so far, like A&M, and Clemson. We beat Clemson. Would they get 20 points? I mean, their team's in trouble this year anyway, but still, we played with a true freshman.
But I know one thing: it's hard to go undefeated in college football, and I think Miami's the last shot to beat Florida State in the regular season.
Oh, I agree, but I think Louisville could beat them. They're pretty good.
Maybe we'll see.
Let's see what we do against Louisville.
Yeah,
but it's not so far fetched that we could lose every game the rest of the season.
Boston College is playing great football now,
and they play tough. They play every down like it's the last down they're ever going to play.
Yep. You got to go up there day after Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, this is gut check time for the Canes. All right, Bruce, we'll see you next week.
Okay, Lamar.
See you, Bruce.
Buddy.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Bruce.
All right, LT. Man, you and T-Buck are something else. Woo.
Yeah, it's no love lost there.
Let's play some word association. I'm going to start with Terrell Buckley.
All right. T-Buck, a closet Florida State fan. He really wanted to be a Miami Hurricane. He didn't want to tell the story, but he wasn't. Jimmy Johnson talked about moving him to run the fake punts, fake kicks. He wouldn't have fit in down in Miami. It was a little bit too much for him. Good player though, really good player. Developed once he grew an extra inch, he developed into a nice DB. So 5'9", 135. Yeah, he has a championship ring though. Every time I showed him national championship ring, he knows how to trumpet. He pulls out that big dog. I got to put down the cubics. So I mean, it is what it is. He's a great dude. He really, when I think of Florida State guys, I think of those guys like him and Derrick Brooks and William Floyd, all really, really good guys who they were coached by a great coach, Bobby Bowden, who taught them how to be men. So I got to give it up for that.
How about if I say Florida State?
A team that's in 3 years have really built that program to where they wanted to be. I mean, you think about them a couple of years ago, they were where we were. I mean, even worse. They wanted to run Noville out of town. And he was able to keep that staff, make some moves on the staff, bring some guys in, bring some players in, get rid of some old players from Taggart's regime, and look where they are now. I mean, what he's done has been short of amazing. I mean, they got it going on, and they're playing some good ball. The thing that scares me about their team is the fact that Travis can also run. Not only is he mastered throwing the football to those bigger receivers, which they have some really good receivers and a good running game, but he also can run the ball. And that's the scary part, because before he was just a runner, it was easy to defend. He was inaccurate. But now he has really big receivers that you can be inaccurate and they make you look good because of their catch radius. And those two guys that have 14 hasn't really played that well this year. But that other kid that transferred from Michigan State, woo, he is a beast. So
how about Travis threw for 360 without his two receivers last week against Pittsburgh?
How about that? How about that? And so with that being said, I mean, he's in full mastery of that offense. I've enjoyed watching him this progress, because again, 3 years ago he was just a runner. You wanted him to throw the ball because he was inaccurate. But whatever happened between him and the coordinator, or whatever they were able to do, bringing in these new guys, is really turned on his light upstairs. And the kid has it, man. He's a good quarterback. I saw that last year. I did the University of Florida, Florida State game last year up there in Tallahassee, and I was very impressed with this kid.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as he goes forward in his career, whether it's at Miami or somewhere else, if Ja'Cory Brown can turn it around kind of the way Jordan Travis has. Because like you said, you wanted him to throw when he was a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon Dawson, Lamar.
Shannon, this offense, it was supposed to be where we were spreading things out, and they tried. They tried the first series of the Virginia game to spread them out. But they've had to go back to running the ball. And it's basically running it straight up the middle. Ain't no zone read, nothing. It's just running straight up the middle. And hopefully you decide to put everybody in the box so they can throw it outside one-on-ones. It's not the offense I envisioned with them being here. But for the most part, it's been fairly successful. Because you take the Texas A&M game, you take the Clemson game, you even take 3/4 of the Georgia Tech game. I mean, it's just something is just not meshing between the play calling and the quarterback. That's the way I look at it. You got offensive line who's playing a lot better. I say 1,000 times better than they played last year. You got running backs, you got receivers. Obviously, we talked about missing tight ends. But it's a better offense. I just don't see how we can only come out of last week's game with 6 points. It's just amazing to me. Not with this offense and not with these players. So I'm at a loss for words.
Tyler Van Dyke.
If you get your opportunity, man, this is a game where you can
turn it around,
turn it around, or whatever it is, because it's definitely at that point where, this game, I think this game is going to, if he plays, affects his future one way or the other. So, hopefully if he can go out there and do well against Florida State and give us an opportunity to win, I think it does well for his future. If he doesn't, and, it's one of those games where you got 4 or 5 bad plays and they blow us out, it's not good for him. So he has to somehow get this thing together this week. And I hope he does, because what we saw 2 years ago when that kid was a freshman, I would have never thought that we'd be talking about this kid the way we're talking about him right now, with the fans and everybody talking about making the switch. So I'm anxious to see what this decision is going to be. Whatever it is, I just want us to go forward and try to play some better ball. How about that?
Emory Williams.
Emory, he was able to manufacture a win, the coaching staff, and they kept it simple for him, and he was able to win. But the question is, do you give up a red shirt year for a season that's basically going nowhere? I mean, what we're going to try to get in a better bowl game? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth him giving up that year to. I just don't know if it's worth. I mean, I don't know what the fans think.
Is it worth giving up that year to essentially play the last 4 games?
4 games.
Because you got to play. If you give up the year Saturday, he's got to start against Louisville, Boston College, and the bowl game.
If you give it that year, you got to go. You got to take it for what it's worth.
You got to go,
Yes.
and then he's getting 5 games in.
Yes.
So and that gets him ready if he's the starter next year. Although I still think they got to look in the portal and they got to find the best guy that they can find to come in and compete. No doubt about it. All right. Lastly, Mario Cristobal.
Mario, hey man, this is the opportunity for you to. No one outside of South Florida is expecting you to win this game. So this is a great opportunity for you to speak to your team and let them know that, hey, this is us. We go up there and do this. And we don't have to worry about nobody else because we're going to do it. And if we can get it done, then all those naysayers, they can go kick rocks. Because that's what it all boils down to. Those people in that locker room and those coaches, nobody else is expecting a win. So, hey, let's just go out and do what we do and play loose and have fun and understand that guy across from you, this is a rivalry game. You got to kick his butt so you can have a year of bragging on social media. How about that?
65% or so of Florida State starters are transfer portal kids.
They've done a good job.
Many of them not from Florida. I don't know if they're going to feel this game.
That's true too. Yeah,
in the same way, it's going to be interesting. I hope the Canes show up. All you can do is hope. I'm trying to stay positive and optimistic. They have made an improvement this year, and it's not showing in the record because of certain things that have happened in games. But hopefully they'll start putting it all together here in the final stretch of the season.
Oh, my beard is gonna be gray by 2 weeks from now. Jesus Christmas.
All right, I'll tell you, we got to thank Terrell Buckley and Ja'Cory Harris for being our 2 guests tonight. Give a final thanks to all of our sponsors, CaneSwear, for being the host sponsor of the Lamar Thomas Show, the largest and best Canes store ever created. It's right there at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. If you live locally, make sure you get over there. Check them out. You got the holiday season coming, as I said. Always the need for some Canes gear. So check out CaneSwear at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or they're always open, obviously, at caneswear.com. You can shop the whole store online as well. We got to thank Williamson Cadillac for supplying Lamar's automobiles. The Florida Beach Bowl, the new bowl game coming in December to Drive Pink Stadium, started by a former Cane. Maybe we'll get to reveal him next week.
He's ready.
We think next week is going to be the week that we get to unveil him to you guys. We have to thank the law firm Rotson and Faxidomo. If you don't ever want to need them, but if you ever do, they're your go-to law firm to help you get out of trouble, get aggressive representation from skilled criminal lawyers there. And then we got to thank our new sponsor, Life Athletics, the place where Lamar's wife gets herself in fighting shape to deal with Lamar. And they're at 12330 Southwest 53rd Street in Cooper City, Florida. So, LT, I'm headed up there. I guess you're not coming this year, huh?
I'm still debating. I'm just debating. I'll let you know.
You're thinking of that long 7-hour drive.
Oh man, I mean, as much as I want to, it's just that 7-hour drive of. It's If we had a better chance, come on, guys. I'll let you know.
Well, good luck down at practice tomorrow. I hope Mario lets you speak to the team.
That's right.
And we want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We'll be back next Wednesday night with more of the Lamar Thomas Show. For LT, I'm Gary. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time, everybody. Go Canes.
Go Canes.